Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the minds of some of cricket's most fearsome bowlers to find out which batsmen they truly feared, respected, and found the toughest to dismiss. The answers might surprise you. Let's get into it. We are covering the era from 1970s till present era and present the opinions of premier bowlers against the toughest opposition batters in their matchups. Starting from the decades of 1970s and 80s. Australian icon Dennis Lillee and his partner in crime Jeff Thomson are considered amongst one of the all-time great fast bowling pair, named Viv Richards as the most difficult they ever faced against due to his intimidating presence and raw aggression. Even New Zealand's Sir Richard Hadlee, a master of swing and seam, frequently praised Viv's exceptional ability and aggressive style to dominate any bowler, on any day. Even the great Imran Khan said that, when he was at his prime as a bowler and during his absolute peaks, Viv was the only batsman who would attack him. No other batsman could intimidate him except the great Richards. He called Viv a complete genius with amazing reflexes that could destroy any fast bowler. But what about West Indian greats? Those legendary bowlers didn't have to go after Sir Viv, at least in the international test cricket. What's their opinion on the toughest opponents? The legendary West Indian fast bowler, Andy Roberts, considered Sunil Gavaskar as the most difficult batsman he ever bowled to. He rated him as a batter who was very hard to dismiss. Malcolm Marshall considered Dilip Vengusrakar as the most difficult batter he faced. He specifically recalled a fiery battle with Vengusrakar in Antigua where he pulled out all the stops to dismiss him, highlighting Vengusrakar's skill and resilience. Marshall even expressed intense relief and elation upon finally getting him out. Colin Croft, the former West Indies fast bowler, has stated that he found batsmen who were awkward to bowl at and had a good eye to be the most difficult to face. He specifically mentioned Greg Chappell as an example of a batsman who was difficult to get out due to his excellent eye and ability to play the ball late. What about Whispering Death? Michael Holding has mentioned several batsmen he found challenging to bowl to, but he specifically singled out Jeff Boycott as one of the most difficult batters he faced. He also spoke about the difficulty of bowling to likes of Sunil Gavaskar and Ian Chappell at times. What about spinners of that era? Opinions differs from bowler to bowler. Lance Gibbs rated Ian Chappell as the most difficult batter he faced. Gibbs found Chappell particularly challenging because he would come out of the crease to play on the front foot, employing an aggressive and feet-first approach. English spin wizard Derek Underwood, known as Deadly, considered Gavaskar one of his most difficult challenges, highlighting his incredible skill against spin on treacherous pitches. What about Abdul Qadir? Abdul Qadir, the legendary Pakistani leg spinner, considered Sachin Tendulkar as one of the most difficult batsmen he had to bowl against. He bowled against him in an unofficial match and got surprised by the batting display of the youngster. On other occasions he had regarded Ravi Shastri too, who played against him, as one of the best player against his bowling. What about Indian spinners like Bedi, Prasanna, V.S. Chandrasekhar? While there is no clear mentions of Chandrasekhar or Bedi rating anyone among opposition batter as the hardest batter to bowl against, but there are some accounts suggesting high praises for likes of Barry Richards, Gavaskar or Sobers. Prasanna, who played in both 1960s and 1970s, rated stars of 1960s like Barrington or Sobers as the toughest batters, but this list is regarding post-1970s, so we will not be discussing players from 1960s here, and we will wrap up our list for 1970s and 80s as well. Moving to the next generation. Let's start with the Prince of Trinidad, Brian Lara. Spin wizard Anil Kumble didn't just call him a great, he called him the best he ever played against. Even the great Glenn McGrath, a man known for his relentless accuracy, admitted that while it was a tough choice to choose the most difficult between Lara and Tendulkar, Lara was a bit harder to bowl at than Tendulkar. But what about his partner in crime, Brett Lee? Australian pace legend Brett Lee puts Sachin at the top spot in his top 3 toughest list, alongside Lara and Jacques Kallis. He rated Indian master at number 1 spot for his incredible timing among the 3. Let's take a look on the opinion of another speedster, this time from South Africa. The White Lightning Alan Donald called Sachin the technically best batsman he ever faced, praising his incredible adaptability. And of course, the legendary Shane Warne, who named Sachin Tendulkar number 1 on his greatest cricketers list, with Brian Lara right behind him at number 2. That's the ultimate sign of respect. For Ambrose, the toughest were two gritty Australians, David Boon and Steve Waugh. These were players who wouldn't give their wicket away for anything. They would wear you down, take the blows, and fight for every single run. And for King of Swings, the masters of reverse swing, Wasim Akram and Waqar Younis, that batsman was New Zealand's Martin Crowe. Akram noted that Crowe's technique of playing on the front foot and focusing on the in-swing, while the ball was reverse swinging, made it difficult for him and Waqar Younis. Although, for ODI format, Akram rated Adam Gilchrist as the most dangerous batter. Talking about danger, for Muralitharan Muralitharan, there was another unique challenge, the unpredictable Virender Sehwag, whose aggressive, fearless style could throw any bowler's plans into chaos from the very first ball. Muralitharan in an interview rated Brian Lara and Sehwag as the two most difficult batter he came across. Dale Steyn had rated variety of batters from de Villiers to Rohit Sharma and legends like Sachin and Ponting whom he faced against in his initial part of career as the most difficult. Take it from Mitchell Johnson, one of the most aggressive fast bowlers of his generation. For him, the toughest was South Africa's de Villiers, an outstanding player who was almost impossible to pin down. His fellow Aussie, Mitchell Starc, agrees on the difficulty of bowling to de Villiers, but for Starc, the batsman he has feared the most is India's hitman, Rohit Sharma, for his powerful, dominant, and boundary-clearing style. And you can't talk about modern greats without Virat Kohli. England's James Anderson made a huge statement, naming Kohli as the toughest batsman he's ever bowled to, even more so than Sachin Tendulkar. A monumental compliment. So here you have it. A list of bowlers and the batters they rated as the toughest challenge on the cricket field. But this list is post-1970 only. If viewers shows interest, we might do an elaborate all-time list on the topic covering all generations. We can even do a similar exercise where great batsmen have rated their most feared bowlers. Share your opinion in the comments section. Like, subscribe and share for more cricket content. Thanks for watching.